Ooh,
And
man.
so here's what we see. We see ladies like this client who was in this week when their husbands have their affairs in order, and the lady, she was a charming, charming lady. She was in my office probably for an hour and a half, and she just telling me the story, and I'm just listening, and she was telling me just how much she loved her husband, how great of a guy she was. And we hear these stories regularly with ladies whose husbands have passed away, and then we hear the other side where ladies come in, their husbands don't have their affairs in order, the property may still be in the husband's name, and he may have accounts that he didn't have named beneficiaries on, and we see the frustration that they have to endure. And sometimes, again, it's the second marriage, and now the wife, even though they may have been married for 30 plus years, has to deal with his children from another marriage, and it's frustrating, and it's costly. So we see two kind of ladies in our office once the husbands pass away. Ones who are extremely happy because the husband, they took care of their business, and even after the husband has passed away, he is caring for and supporting his family. And the husbands who didn't get their affairs in order, wives who are frustrated and probably kicking pebbles on his headstone when she goes to see him. So again, back to you men, do your families a favor and take care of this. It's painless, it's affordable. See a lawyer of your choice. Doesn't have to be Ted London. See a lawyer of your choice before your family. Please make sure you get these things in order. And ladies, please encourage them to do that, because if you don't encourage them, they're going to procrastinate like they've been doing for years already. You know who you are. Don't let them go to another week. We're getting up on the end of the year. Get these things taken care of by the end of the year, and you don't have to worry about them anymore.
Excellent, excellent advice. I
It
love the
is.
way that you are able to speak so clearly, concisely, for the benefit of our listeners, Attorney London. We got about a minute left. Any closing thoughts? And we want to make sure, obviously, we give the number again.
Well, you know what? Again, you can always go to our Facebook page. I don't talk about our Facebook page often, but I'm going to mention today, Ted London Associates. We have a Facebook page. I did want to share some information about some of the personal injury cases we just settled. We just settled one case for $600,000, a car accident case. Settled another case for $150,000. That was a prominent pastor's wife who slipped and fell at a restaurant. If I mentioned the restaurant, you would know it. Settled that case for $150,000. So again, if you have some injury cases, your family's been involved in accidents or injuries, you can call us at the office, 773-721-3333. And we have a new website for you as well, calltednow.com. So if you've been injured, what are you going to do? Call Ted Now. Actually, it's called tednow.org. Calltednow.org, and that'll give you all kind of information about our personal injury division. And we've been handling a number of significant injury cases most recently, and so if you have some questions, please call us anytime.
Yeah, I saw your billboard. It's huge. It
Yeah,
says
yeah. You know
call
what? Have
Ted
one.
now.
Call Ted Now. We have more billboards coming on 57. That billboard happens to be on the Dan Ryan,
Yep.
heading south on the west side of the street, right at 45th Street. But we have more billboards coming on I-57, Bishop Ford, because Black people want to patronize Black lawyers and Black businesses. As a Black business owner and a Black lawyer, I want the African American community to know that we're here, we're available to serve you, and folks are responding because we do want to do business with Black folks, and folks are making an effort to do that,
All
and we're
right.
grateful.
Well, I'm going to put the information in our chat on our Facebook page so that people know where to find you, Ted. We'll see you next Thursday.
Look
As a,
forward to it.
yes, as usual, it was a pleasure.
It's my pleasure indeed.
Take care,
Atiba,
Attorney
LaDonna,
London.
thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank
Sure,
you.
bye now.
All right, guys, we want to get right to it. We've got guests waiting what's called backstage.
Yeah.
They are ready to come on to talk about the Million Man March. So I'm going to shut up so we can get to traffic and weather and news, and we'll be right back.
Good news. Good news.
Happy Thursday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Federal judge orders Chicago ICE chief to testify. Reports say Trump to propose making IVF more accessible. Diane Keaton's family confirmed star died, pneumonia, and kissed guitarist Ace Frehley on life support. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON 1690, Berwyn, Chicago.
Because this is the apology that I've been sharing with many rank and file officers. And I apologize because of the fact that I'm looking to work with these officers. And I know that these officers, these men and women who serve in the NYPD, they put their lives on the line every single day.
The Democratic Socialist walked back to his 2020 comments on Fox News in an effort to mend ties with police. Maryland's Black Attorney General Anthony Brown and others are opposing a Trump administration proposal requiring colleges to link race data to admissions and aid, calling it a pretext to attack DEI efforts. They warn it could be used to target schools supporting diversity programs. And Grammy winner Lil Nas X made his first public appearance since his August arrest, looking healthy in Los Angeles after completing inpatient treatment. His father says fame has taken a toll. His next court date is November 18th. I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Back to you, Doug.
All right, thank you. Earlier today, House Speaker Mike Johnson once again blamed Democrats for the government shutdown now in its third week and warned that it could be the longest in U.S. history. He claimed Republicans are helping Americans during this painful time.
In the state of Michigan, for example, our members are sitting down with veterans, men and women who risked their lives for our country, and they're struggling now because the services they depend on have come to a halt. In Texas, many of our Republican colleagues have met with some of our brave Border Patrol agents down on that southern border who are still reporting for duty without a paycheck. In Montana, Congressman Ryan Zinke helped park rangers who are keeping the parks open as best they can for families and travelers, even as they themselves go without a paycheck.
Many of the federal workers in question have not been paid since the shutdown began. And with the elimination of jobs and SNAP benefits for 42 million Americans being in jeopardy, Black Americans are wondering if Republicans really care about their needs. Democrats say they won't pass a budget without extending Obamacare subsidies. Meanwhile, it's been 3 weeks since Arizona Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva won her special election and says she hasn't been sworn in yet. Speaker Mike Johnson says it's a procedural delay, but when she pressed him, he reportedly responded with, well, quote, "Not yet, sweetheart." Grijalva isn't buying it, and today on MSNBC, she said it's time for justice to play out.
You know, for me, it really is giving voice to the victims and getting justice finally for the horror that they've gone through. And if there's anyone in there that committed a crime, sexual assault, rape of anybody that did anything like that, they should have legal consequences for their actions so these victims can finally move forward and become survivors, the survivors that we all know them to be. And so to finally be able to have some justice and see that done, that is why it's so important for us to have transparency on what happened.
She believes the real reason for the delay is her vote because she holds the final signature needed to complete a discharge petition that would force a House vote to release the sealed Epstein files. And finally, 5 Spelman College students just took home the top prize at the Moguls in the Making pitch competition held in Detroit, Michigan. The ladies designed an AI-powered platform to support women-owned businesses, especially those led by Black women. The students, all first-time collaborators, scored $20,000 in scholarships, internships with Ally Financial, and a guest appearance on the Jennifer Hudson Show. Hats off, sisters. Continue to show the world what Black excellence looks like. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Doug Davis for the Black Information Network.
30 years later, we remember the Million Man March all day on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
While there have been adjustments to the Rufus Williams show schedule, one thing has not changed, and that's our Friday lineup. Candace, what's the 411?
That's when I play current videos and get reactions from you, Titus, and most importantly, our listeners, the Rue Crew. That's Friday on the Rufus Williams Show, 7 to 9 a.m. on WVON 1690, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation.
This report is brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you, there's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian, there's nothing like it.
Tune in every month for the J.P. Morgan Chase Community Banking Hour on The Matt McGill Show. From everyday budgeting tips and credit card strategies to home lending guidance, small business support, and how to start saving for college, we're covering the topics that move your money forward. It's your money, your future. Get the tools to own it. The J.P. Morgan Chase Community Banking Hour only on The Matt McGill Show, powered by J.P. Morgan Chase.
You never know who's going to stop by WVON.
That is Patrice Russian. She's in studio with me right now. Patrice, how you doing?
Great. So glad to be in the windy city. It's not windy, and I'm happy about that.
Buddy Guy, welcome to WVON.
Thank you for having me.
No, it is indeed my honor.
The Tate brothers, all this black magic, black excellence here in the studio right now.
It's good to, be here with you all.
We are the talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that 3 out of 4 adults in the United States have a high risk factor for severe COVID-19. And Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Fall is in season at Kohl's, and you know what that means. Pumpkins, plaid, and anything that smells like cinnamon. This week, take an extra 20% off decor, home furnishings, bedding, and more. So whether fall is your entire personality or you're just a casual pumpkin enthusiast, the deals at Kohl's are here for your seasonal style. Select styles, some exclusions apply. 20% offer ends October 19th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
This report is brought to you by Dell Technologies. Your new Dell PC with Intel Core Ultra helps you handle a lot when your holiday to-dos get to be a lot. Like organizing holiday shopping, responding to requests, and customers requesting custom things. Luckily, the Dell PCs help you get it all done. That's the power of Dell PC with Intel inside. Get yours at Dell.com/deals.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Thursday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. In Ryan downtown 95th, stop and go traffic 30 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, 1 minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, 2 minute delay, 14 minutes. Stevenson due Sub Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 50 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfville Post Office, please be cautious. There is an accident on the right shoulder. Eisenhower at Independence Boulevard, 44 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 42 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, gradual clearing, high of 68 and a low of 58. Tomorrow, breezy and warm, high of 73 and a low of 60. It's currently 69 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on stage.
We are back on the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray, about 11 after the hour. And he is right. The revolution will not be televised. We have been so excited to get into this conversation. And we have two wonderful guests as we acknowledge, as we remember, as we lift up the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March. It makes me smile just saying it. And I'm really smiling because I have two great guests on StreamYard that I'm so honored to have with us. First is the Reverend Mark Thompson, host at Make It Plain. Thank you so much for joining us. And he is also the cousin of WVON's very own Cliff Kelly.
Yes.
Right.
Welcome.
So he's been a part of our family for some time.
We didn't even know he was supposed to be at the cookout.
Right. And also joining us is the award-winning journalist, New York Times best-selling author, Emmy-nominated TV writer and storyteller, Mr. Michael Harry. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. How are you both?
I'm great. I'm great.
Good to be here. Good to be here with my brother Michael, too. Good to see all of you and the WVON family. Much love to Cousin Cliff, and I know everybody's thinking about him and missing him. Please keep him in your prayers.
We absolutely do love and miss him in that order. That said, I'm going to start with you, if you don't mind, Reverend. And I would just love to get your opening thoughts about the 30 years of impact of the Million Man March.
Well, Latiba, and it's good to be here with you both, and thank you for having this conversation. In earlier this year, I reached out to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is not speaking at this moment. He's in a time of meditation, speaking to, listening to his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we also lift the minister up in prayer as he has health challenges, but continues to overcome them because of prayer. And I said, Minister, with your blessing and permission, shall I attempt to convene some of the brethren around the country, not to do another national march, but to have commemorative events in cities all over the country, because much of what we're dealing with as Black men and as people overall is locally based. And he gave me that blessing. And so since that time, we have been organizing, or cities have been organizing, I should say. I've kind of been curating it, a calendar, so that people can go wherever they are and participate in the Million Man March event. They've been going on all this week and will be going on through the weekend. So I want to first of all say people go to millionmanmarch2025.com, millionmanmarch2025.com, to find out where an event is near you and to participate. And it's important that we do this, because 30 years have gone by. There's a new generation who didn't experience it, and there's a generation who was there, and a generation who were kids at the march, young men. And we've got to renew the spirit of the Million Man March. We've got to renew the principles of atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. And we've got to renew the pledge. Why? Because the right wing, the Republicans, MAG and all that, they control and are paying big money to control the algorithms on our social media. And Black men, Black people overall, but Black men are targets for disinformation more than any other group. And so what has happened is that this manosphere, this white manosphere, this white male incel culture has been using social media to recruit and confuse Black men. And so the white man feels that he's a victim. And so some Black men have assimilated in, and that's why you had some Black men say, I can't vote for no woman as president. That's where a lot of that comes from. But it's our duty to remind ourselves as Black men of the Holy Day of Atonement. That's the only time in history 2 million people stood together in one place peacefully. There were no incidents. Stood together in one place to take responsibility for our actions and misactions, and to atone for them, and to pledge as Black men we would defend our families and our women with our lives, and we would stop trying to kill each other. And we've got to get back to that. None of that should have ever been forgotten or gone away, but we just don't have, our enemies have resources that we don't, but we have God. which is the greatest resource of all. And that was what we said 30 years ago, and we're saying it again this year.
All right. Right before we go to break, we got a good 90 seconds. We would love to get your opening thoughts, Mr. Harrington. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So I always like to begin by setting the context. And I think when we talk about the Million Man March, we have to understand the context that, like, it was not a protest. It was a convening. And had it been a protest, it would have been the largest protest still in American history today. It would have been. And the idea that all of these Black men and Black people convened in Washington, not to address anything that anybody was doing, but to say, what are we going to do for ourselves? I think that is the most important legacy of the Million Man March, and the thing that we have to go in talking about, right? Like, how are we going to take responsibilities for our communities, for our people, for our women, and what are we going to take from here back to the places and extend beyond just this march? And I think that's the context that we talk about the Million Man March in.
That's a great way to segue into our traffic and weather, because when we come back, I have a question for you when it comes to those numbers when we get back on WVON 1690.
All right, we'll be right back.
30 years later, we remember the Million Man March all day on the Talk of Chicago, WVON 1690 AM. You never know who's going to stop by WVON.
Patrice Russian, she's in studio with me right now. Patrice, how you doing?
Great.
The Tate brothers, it's good to, be here.
Buddy Guy, welcome to WVON.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed, my honor.
Live and in studio, as I promised you, Chance the Rapper.
I feel great.
We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Life's precious moments are meant to be celebrated. Birthdays, anniversaries, school events, and those everyday gatherings that bring us together. Don't miss what matters most. This season, protect yourself and your loved ones. Stay ahead of the flu and COVID-19 with updated vaccines. And get your school-age kids physicals and pediatric vaccines too. Join WVON and the Chicago Department of Public Health on Saturday, October 18th at Kennedy King College, U Building, 740 West 63rd Street from 9 until 1 p.m. Free updated COVID-19 and flu vaccines, routine pediatric vaccines, and school physicals will be available for school-age kids. Plus, meet WVON's afternoon host, Atiba Buchanan, broadcasting live from 9 until noon. Because the best way to ensure your whole family is there for every occasion is to prioritize your family's health. Don't miss out on life's big and small events. Get vaccinated today for a healthier tomorrow. That's Saturday, October 18th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Kennedy King College, U Building, 740 West 63rd Street, sponsored by the Chicago Department of Public Health. Together, we can keep our community healthy and safe.
Get fired up because the Illinois Lottery is launching its newest game, Hot Wins. Great odds and drawings that happen every 4 minutes. This game will surely add some spice to your day. Wherever you play the lottery. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2025, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-260-8191. That's 800-260-8191. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-260-8191 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
This October, move for the mission. Join the Beyond a Mammogram Hyde Park 5K and Kids Dash happening Saturday, October 18th from 9 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. at Sean Michelle's Ice Cream, located at 46 East 47th Street in Chicago. Walk or run virtually to raise awareness for breast cancer, early detection, and research. Then celebrate with free waffles and ice cream, giveaways, wellness panels, and much more. Register now at hydepark5k.org.
WVON cares.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper, your favorite millennial. Join me on The Cleopatra Show, weekdays at 9 a.m., where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m., right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you, there's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian, there's nothing like it.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Chicago, I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 34 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80. 1 minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94. 2 minute delay, 14 minutes. Stevenson due South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic 51 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftoe Post Office. Please be cautious. There is an accident on the right shoulder Eisenhower at Independence Boulevard. 46 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. Stop and go traffic 42 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lee Cook Smooth Sailing 14 minutes. Weather for today, Chicago. Gradual clearing, high of 68 and a low of 58. Tomorrow, breezy and warm, high of 73 and a low of 60. It's currently 67 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690.
Now back to our special programming. We remember the Million Man March right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Have you ever wondered why? Or what makes my God so?
All right, guys, we are back. It's 424. Atiba Buchanan, LaDonna Ray. We're joined on the live line again by Mark Thompson and Michael Harriet. And I thank you guys so much for joining us. Were you there, Rev? You were there, right?
Yes, I was.
It looks like he's there right now.
No,
Tell us,
I
can you
MC.
tell us about the day?
Yeah.
Paint
So
the picture for us.
I was the opening MC,
Mm.
and so we came out that morning at dawn for prayer, and in the Muslim tradition, the Adhan call. And I believe a brother from Nigeria did the prayer, recited the prayer. But they had us in a holding room in the Capitol. First of all, what people need to understand is that Bill Clinton left town, and the whole Congress and Newt Gingrich left town. Everybody got out of town. They didn't want to be around. And so they ceded all the space to us. So we took over the Capitol. And so we were in a holding room, and we were sitting there, and I was saying to one of my brothers there, Brother Raheem Jenkins of the Righteous Men's Commission in D.C., I said, man, this is the room where the president waits to be sworn in. He said, really? I said, yeah, that's what this is. We didn't even realize it at first. And then we walked out at dawn as the sun was coming up out of the West Front, where the president comes down the stairs to take the oath to go to the stage. And we saw nothing but a sea of men. Brothers started arriving as early as midnight. And the mall was practically already full. From the Capitol way past, as far as we could see past the Washington Monument on Independence and Constitution and Pennsylvania, Union Station. And walking out of that door, the most powerful door in the world, to a beautiful sea of black men. And the minister's words, it was a glimpse of heaven. And anybody who was there was forever changed.
You know, speaking of a glimpse of heaven, the reports or the documented reports stated that only 400 to 800,000 black men showed up for the Million Man March, but the organizers say that almost 2 million Black men showed up for the Million Man March. What would you say the discrepant? I mean, we know how our efforts get minimized, but what would you say was your observation in the number of people that were actually there?
Well, as a part of the effort and the organizing, we were the ones who had our own estimates, and we were the ones that put 2 million out there. But I think the most important thing to realize is that while the National Park Service, up until October 16, 1995, did those counts, after the discrepancy and after being exposed for trying to minimize, since then, the National Park Service policy is no longer to do official counts of events. So the Million Man March ended that practice for the National Park Service, and we were right.
Yeah.
I saw you nodding affirmatively, Mr.
Mhm.
Harriet, and
Yeah.
I do have a great question for you that only I think you are uniquely qualified to answer. What is it we don't know about the Million Man March?
So, as it relates to that question you just asked, Reverend Thompson, I think people also need to know that because of that controversy, Good Morning America commissioned a study that actually had scientists, crowd experts from all around the world count the crowd, and they came up with a number north of 1.4 million. So, like, there is no one who can really substantively dispute that there were 1 million men gathered in Washington, D.C. that day. The other thing is, I wasn't in a room where they swore in the president, but I was there. I remember falling asleep, taking a nap because I drove all night on the mall in Washington, and feeling at peace. I think people don't know how it wasn't activists or like conscious people. It was just Black men of all stripes and geographic areas and
Socioeconomic background.
Mhm.
yes, and they were coming together for a purpose, and it was so powerful that the reason I think that it was so peaceful, the reason I think that there was no trouble that day, is because I don't think there was anyone there who would want to be policed by the other people who was there saying, "Hey, man, this is not the day for that."
This ain't that.
So it wasn't the number of police presence. It wasn't it was us taking responsibility for each other and the peace that day and the unity that day, man. I don't know if anyone other than Honorable Louis Farrakhan could have convened it, and I also think people don't realize like how powerful that man was in that time, that he could call 1 million men.
That's right.
And they would come spend their own money to come across the country to DC.
Reverend Thompson, we're at the top of the hour or the end of the segment. If you could just give us what lesson do we need to learn from the Million Man March?
We have to continue to enliven and resurrect the spirit of the Million Man March. That's absolutely the case, especially for our Black men today. Nothing's changed. We're still besieged. We're still under attack. And we still have to continue to grow. What the minister did actually came out of some of the first gang summits in 93 and 94, even in Chicago. The vice lords, the gangster disciples, they put their weapons down. And then he began to convene all male meetings around the country. Michael's right. My brother Michael is right. This was the only time in history when you had a group of people come and say, we're not protesting anything. If anything, we're protesting our irresponsibility. That was the only protest. But what we did was we submitted to God. And we're not talking about 2 million Muslim men. 90% of the men there weren't Muslim. The minister called, and there were a whole lot of Black preachers who were upset. And a couple of them I said, if you don't come, you won't be relevant anymore. And one of those was my own mentor, God bless him, and we pray for him as well, Reverend Jackson. The preachers were all over Reverend Jackson. Don't go to the Million Man March. I said, Doctor, if you don't go to the Million Man March, you won't be relevant. And you know what Reverend Jackson did? He took, as a 20-something-year-old man, he took my advice. I was 20-something. He came and gave one of the best speeches of the day. What can a million men do? I tell you what, again, what can a million men do? What can all the Black men in this country do? We can continue to stand up to defend our families. We can continue to be responsible for our families and our young people, be in our children's lives, in the violence against one another. Those are the things we have to do to keep the spirit of the Million Man March alive.
Reverend Mark Thompson, Michael Harriet, thank you both so much for joining us.
This
taking
was
time.
not enough time.
It was not. It was
I'm
not.
almost
Atiba, were you there? Were you at the Million Man March?
I was not there.
Okay.
Where were you?
What about you, LaDonna? Because I know some sisters crashed.
No, I was a new mother
Okay.
at 19 years old. Yeah, I was not there. Yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Until next time,
Thanks.
we appreciate you.
Give thanks.
All right. We're going to take a real quick break for news,
Yes.
traffic, and weather. We have more great
We got
guests.
more.
Yes, sit tight, guys. This is just we're just getting started. I promise. All right, we see you holding 773-591-1690. Give a call, leave a